Hello guys, and welcome back to another episode of Growing with Isotope. Today I've got a lovely little update for you again. It's currently the 7th of March, it's about a week into the month now. Things are lagging behind a little bit where I was last year, but I'm still mainly very happy with the progress in here. As you can see, the cucumber, very big. It's got a little feeler coming out of it. I think it's going to try and wrap onto the tomato plant by the look of it. Tomatoes are huge. There's roots coming out the bottom into the water. Yeah, all these tomatoes are huge. Even the stick tomato back here is pretty big. My variegated nasturtium in the back there, it's looking very healthy, very good. As you can see as well, I've got some peppers that I've potted up into the double cups. I can't remember whether I showed that on the last video or not, but they're looking very healthy. They're a bit behind. They've got some growing to do. That's okay though. They've still got another 2 months to do it. Should be absolutely fine if the double cut method goes well. My herbs at the back, can't really get a good angle on them, but there are some herbs in there. You can see the fennel there. Nice stuff. And so I gave everything a water a couple of days ago, and everything is looking so much better. Yeah, everything kind of stalled for a bit, I think because of a mixture of sort of transplant shock, overwatering, loads of different problems contributing to the same symptoms, which were leaf curling. Plants were like curling into themselves, but they seem to be sort of straightening themselves out now. I have noticed a bit of root death just sort of when I tip the plants out, but I'm sure they will all sort themselves out and grow some healthy roots as soon as they can. My double cup crosses back there looking really good. So this tangerine tiger, probably one of the healthiest plants I've got at the moment. The pimento verde riberos, they're growing nice and slow, but getting there. And then on the bottom level, got my wild peppers, most of which have just been watered today. They're looking very good. And yeah, some more double cut peppers in there. Good stuff. The mini olive ricotta in the back is growing. Everything here growing very nicely. And that tomato there is looking very good. It's a potato leaf tomato, which is the Sweet Splash Electro variegated. I haven't grown a potato leaf tomato before. That's exciting. And that dark plant in the middle is the Tiger Fang F2, which is the Tiger Gum Peach cross an unknown pepper. Absolutely delicious last year. Looking forward to trying it again this year. And yeah, so it's kind of a bit of an experiment right now. All about learning how much these plants need watering, how much the two different types of compost that I have, how dry I should be keeping them, how wet I should be keeping them. Bit of a learning curve, but I'm learning a lot in the process, and nothing has died yet, so we are improving on last year. Slowly but surely, getting there. And there's still another 2 months to go before I start even thinking about putting these things outside, so absolutely loads of time. Very happy with the progress so far, and I'll see you in the next update. Hey guys, welcome back. It's been a week since the last update. It's March 15th. And the plants are looking very good. The stick tomato at the back here is growing very tall. It's actually going to hit the light soon, so I'm going to need to figure out what I do with that, whether that be topping it or just moving it somewhere else. The pink jazz tomato is coming on very well. Obviously we're missing a tomato, that's in the windowsill now. Got a bit too big for here. My cucumber plant is starting to go sideways and attach itself to the shelving like I thought it might, so that's really good. Try and get it to go around the blue bar area, and yeah, see what happens with that really. Maybe I'll even get some indoor cucumbers, because obviously that has to, well, I'm going to have to wait at least a couple of months before I put that outside. Sort of aiming for the end of May. I know they don't take transplanting well, but I'm hoping to put it up into a grow bag and see if that reduces the transplant shock. That's the theory anyway. And I've got Primo Lucifer XL from Spicy Llama. They're looking really good actually. I need to trim the runts off. I think we've got 3 plants in there. I did have a 4th, not sure what happened to it. Tiberius Mauler Caramel, unfortunately, looks like it's one of the best plants that I'm growing at the moment. Massive leaves. Yeah, there's a few plants in there. I need to trim them off. Maybe give them away to some enemies, I mean friends. And the dark LSB at the back, it's looking pretty much similar to how it looked last week, but it is growing, be rest assured. And the Blood Ghost at the back, can't really see it, but it's there somewhere underneath my cucumber leaves, growing very well. The variegated nasturtium again is looking great. Hasn't really grown much because I've been starving it of nutrients and water. I'm going to put that outside very soon. And you might remember in the last update I talked about the forgotten Cap 215 microcarpum at the back there, the wild form of Bactum. Forgotten, but it doesn't seem to care. It's going very well. If we move down a layer, I have been experiencing some issues with overwatering / underwatering / I don't know, this year. So basically most of the plants you see sort of on this side, I've tried to starve of water a little bit. They're a little bit on the drier side. And these 2 here in this tray, I've kept them extremely dry, and as you can see they look like crap, so it's not an overwatering issue as far as I'm aware. And just to confirm that to myself, I put the yellow Cyril and the Ahi Santa Cruz cross purple flower Bactum on the right here in a tray of water. I filled the tray of water pretty much all the way up, and I just left the pots there, which is one thing that you're told you probably shouldn't do under any circumstances. And as you can see, the plants look fantastic. They've been drinking the water, they've been breathing. I'm not noticing any further yellowing of the plants. They actually look incredible. So I think maybe my mix was too heavy on perlite. That's the assumption that I'm working under. But either way, every single plant in here now looks like it's really gaining traction, especially like this one, the Tangerine Tiger. Looks brilliant, full steam ahead. Pimento Barra de Ribeiro again, they look great. Orange Goosey Jalapeno Super Boot, and my crosses at the back, the Guyana crosses. They've put on a lot of growth. I'm very happy with how they're doing. No issues with them whatsoever. And they've been in double cups, so I'll bear that in mind for next year. I think the drainage on these pots, not the best. I don't have an empty pot to demonstrate with, but if I have a look at the bottom of this pot, you can see there are the 4 corners. Water kind of collects there because there's no drainage on those corners, so they just end up sitting in stagnant water, which is obviously not good for them. Now if we go down here to the jungle, this kind of section is where they've grown the best, I found. My rhomboideum at the back is absolutely, hands down, the most healthy plant that I'm growing. Well, the I did get told how to pronounce this properly. The Eshbonasi, I don't know. It's gone really dark. I'm not really sure why, but it does seem to still be growing, so I've been told it's maybe a deficiency, so just worth keeping an eye on, but I'm not really too worried about it. Everything in here is doing great, apart from the Tyranny at the back. I don't know if you can see that. It looks horrible basically, but not to worry, I'm sure it'll perk up at some point. And yeah, even stuff on this side, like the smaller Chinense seedlings, really started to put on some new growth. The Tiger Fang there, a really dark foliage one here, looks really good, really happy with it. Mini Olive Ricotta at the back left, so look up, looking great. Tomato here, needs to be potted up, it's getting really big. It's the Sweet Splash Electra variegated. Yeah, I'm really happy with the progress at the moment. I'm running my little watering experiments as well up here, and yeah, I'll update on the progress next week. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, and welcome back to another update. It is currently March 26th, and let's just say I'm completely blown away by the amount of growth that I've had over the past couple of weeks. Again, I haven't filmed an update in maybe 10 days, just because I've been quite busy with work and life and such, but behind the scenes the plants have been growing really well. An update on the stick tomato, I had to top it. I can't remember whether I talked about that in the last update, but I had to top it. It hasn't started growing back yet, so I'm a little bit worried that I might have snipped off any chance of that regrowing. But look at my cucumber. It is definitely trying to form a canopy sort of around the edge, which is what I wanted. So it can kind of go all the way around here, around the frame. So if I come around the back here, you might be able to see that. There is a young little female cucumber flower that I pollinated myself with some of the pollen from one of the male flowers. Can hopefully try and get a cucumber to grow inside. And as you can see, there's plenty more peppers on this top level now. Some of these not looking too good. This is the Megatron jalapeno. Purely my own fault, I haven't been watering it properly, but I've got it sat sort of in a bed of water now, so it's essentially drowning it. But what I've learned is that drowning a plant when you've got a good mixture of perlite and airy compost as your potting mix is actually really good. And as you can see here, I've got the Tangerine Tiger F5 in this 1 litre pot here, which has just started to grow back now. The new growth in here is looking pretty fantastic, so I'm really happy with that. The Matapino, it has grown a bit since the last update. I think it's definitely pushing new roots down into the water. You can probably see there tendrils of roots. That's from the cucumber plant. That's the main taproot of the cucumber plant. For some reason it grew straight into the tray. Going to try and disturb that as less as possible. This is the Antep Ahi cross from Chris Fowler. Again, put it in a 1 litre pot. It's doing fantastic. It's looking great. I potted up my variegated sugar rush stripey. So these look pretty good. I'm going to keep one in a solo cup. This is probably the one that I'll get to M4. So I'll be crossing everything with that one. Probably start feeding it hydronewts just so that it can go crazy with pods. Tiberius smaller caramel at the front here is looking really good. I've cut it down to just one plant now. I'm expecting that to really take off soon. And the variegated nasturtium in the back is doing excellent. Really need to get that outside ASAP. And yeah, you might be able to see in the gap here, I've got some more variegated sugar rush plants. Losing a couple of leaves there because the light's not brilliant, but anyhow. I've massively rearranged things, so this side is kind of where I'm putting the plants that need to dry off a bit. So these are plants that have been watered and they haven't responded maybe too well. As you can see in the top there, that's definitely showing signs of shock from too much water. Some of the leaf tips have gone a bit black, so I'm just going to let that dry out. Maybe try the drowning method again. Yeah, and the lanceolatum, when we last saw it, it's probably quite small, but now it's gotten quite big, and the leaves are looking quite dark, so I'm happy with that. It's recovered nicely. The Tiger Fang F2, this dark plant here, is probably the one that I'm going to keep, and I'm going to snip away the other guys in the bottom there. Again, some more variegated sugar rush. These are in my regular pots rather than the new blue cactus pots that I've got, which they do seem to be looking rather good. Look at that one at the back. That's definitely taken to it quite well. Now this one is the Coyote Zam White. Just a little seedling when you last saw it. It's starting to grow out now. Excellent. These solar cut plants, they need watering. That's the mini olive ricotta at the back left there. It's looking great, isn't it? And yeah, some of my Guyana crosses at the back. I've had to move the other Guyana cross up to here. It's just that plant at the back there. It got too tall. My chinenses, including the orange scorpion, it's looking a little yellow, looking a little bit beat up from all the water that I gave it, so I'm just going to let that dry out for a few days, let the pot get really light, and then I'll try again. The method that I'm using seems to be working really well now. I've got no concerns with doing that. I think everything's going to do really well. So with that said, moving down this level, all the plants that are on the heat mat here are currently being drowned because they're I don't want to say stunted because they're quite big, but they could definitely do with bigger root systems just from looking at them. So yeah, I'm putting them in water for a few days. You might think, oh my god, what the hell are you doing? That's going to drown them. No, I've seen evidence that plunging them in deep water for a few days actually encourages their root system because it allows the roots to breathe. They kind of pop off and go crazy, and then when I take them out, they kind of reabsorb the nutrients from the soil, so they might look a bit pale for a few days, but they actually bounce back to life really quickly. You can kind of see that in the submarine plant that I've got up here. It used to be really pale, really yellow. Now it's definitely bounced back a lot, pushing out new growth, which is looking really healthy. And that was just after drowning. And my main drowning proponents, these guys, this is the yellow sorrel. Now that was absolutely tiny for ages until I drowned it, and I mean, it just speaks for itself. Look at this healthy growth. So this is a Bactum chinense cross, and yeah, you can definitely see features of both of those parent species in there. The leaves are quite long, but they're also quite hairy. They've got that kind of furry texture to them. Very cool. And yeah, these guys have been drowned. Just started that this afternoon, so I'll probably wait a few days. And the Ricotto Giant Cross Cap 1491 is looking much better than it was. It's less curled. The leaves are kind of unfurled themselves. That's what happened when I watered it, so happy with the response to water there. And obviously all my wild peppers in the back there are looking excellent. And yeah, there's a couple in there that you can't really see that are tucked away. That's the trouble with the shelf system. It's difficult when you're using different sized pots, but I think next year I'm going to look to automate and standardize things a bit, just to make things easier. I'm going to automate the watering, I'm going to automate the watering, just the watering. I'm going to keep the pot sizes standard. I may use these pots, I may use some better pots, just because look at that water pooling at the bottom there. That can't be good for all compost types. It's quite good for this one because it's light and airy and it's got loads of perlite added, but if you had a less premium mix, it could definitely be a problem. But yeah, overall I'm really happy with the growth over this last sort of 10 days. They look much better than they did, and when they get put in the 1 litre pots and under my light, they're going to really bounce. They're going to be excellent. They're going to be fruiting by the time they go outside. I'm calling it now. They've still got about a month and a week, so about maybe 4 to 6 weeks before they go outside. And yeah, I think this is probably going to be the last update that you see them in these 7cm pots. They'll be in the 1 litre pots and grow bags in the next update. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. See you in the next update. Can't wait.